we go, another week to talk about wrestling. But first and foremost, as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building, bro. It's a big week. We just came off a big week with AEW, and now we're riding right into SummerSlam. So it's gonna be pretty fun this next couple of days, yeah?
Absolutely. Like we always say, there's always something to talk about in the wrestling world, good or bad, and we'll get down to all the business in just a bit. But as always, we want to say hello to everybody who's hanging out in chat already. Let's go, Zayden, Fiaz, good to see you. Div Royalty, Alfred, what's going on, people? Hey, jump in the chat, let us know you're here, say hi. And of course, if you want to carry on the chat, you can always head to our Discord where we discuss all manners of wrestling.
Yeah, man. And the best part is we are back here. We are live. We're going to talk to you guys. If you guys got something to say, you guys have a lot of things to say, hey, come talk to us on the chat. We will address every single thing.
And we can prove 100% it's live because we started a bit late. Like we were discussing in chat, right? Tony Khan. The rumor was that Tony Khan held you in a meeting. That's why you had to, delay a bit. Any truth to these rumors, Foreign?
I think sometimes when you start the day and then you see your email, right? You say, oh, you have an invite for 11:30 a.m. meeting. You're like, damn, son. But yeah.
But see, here's the thing. Even if you don't have a podcast to do like us, right? You're like, but 11:30 is so close to lunchtime. 12 o'clock is lunchtime. Are you sure can finish the meeting before 12 or not?
Exactly. So it was a 30 minutes meeting, but then at like, 12:05, they just started briefing the second half of the thing. I'm like, nah, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
Isn't it the worst, though, when the meeting is like done? The boss or the manager has said everything. And one person, actually, can we address? And then it becomes another 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough. But you know what? I just came back to work, after 2.5 weeks out in the field, out in the jungle. So, there's a lot of things to catch up, and it's all good. But one thing I appreciate is now that I'm back, we can go back to doing our lunchtime live podcast. So
absolutely.
Hey, that's the best rate.
Shout out to Sir Hus, who just swung by as well. Edison, who says, I acknowledge the podcast, boys. We acknowledge you right back, my friends. Thank you so much. By the way, we want to acknowledge our lovely Patreons as well. You can see their names right there in the scroller all throughout the entire podcast. Of course, we have a Patreon page. As you know, if you'd like to take your support of the podcast to the next level, hey, do consider joining us as a Patreon. We got perks. We got the Singapore wrestlers. This, I had to burp, excuse me.
Oh, dear God. We got the Singapore Wrestler Top 20, hashtag SW20 rankings that we are doing for all local wrestling shows that we attend and our patrons attend. So that should be fun.
This is a Mr. Young, professional radio DJ, burp while talking. Power lah, this one. See, that's why I love doing a podcast, right? It's so raw, pardon the pun. It's so, like, if something happens, it happens,
Yeah, I mean, you've mentored me well, so I can cover for you, bro. It's all good. Yeah. Speaking of Patreon, I know, do you have your cup on you? Because we got Patreon merch at all times.
I do not have my cup with me right now, but yes, we do. Yes, we do have Kick to the Gut merch as well. And if there's anything you'd like to see us create, let us know. We might think about it. Maybe it's time we got into the whole wrestling memes t-shirt business. What do you think? Do you think we could jump into that?
Oh my God. I mean, Mr. Young loves Young Bucks. I mean, I think that shit will sell, bro.
Nobody will buy that shit because it's not true. Truth sells. Falsehoods do not sell. Anyway, Alfred says, do you need to pay if you burp on radio? No lah, why got so bad one? You just kena scolding from the boss, that's all.
No fine. No fine.
No fine.
All right. That's good. But another thing also as well, right? The cool thing about doing live, right, is that we get a chance to address questions, address issues. Anything that you also not happy with us, you also get to comment, and we want to right off the bat be able to address anything that you guys have against the way we review shows, right?
Right off the bat, you talk about address things, address this, that. What do we need to address? I thought everybody loves us, bro. I thought we are the ultimate baby faces.
Bro, even my own girlfriend doesn't like me. No lah, no lah. What I'm saying is like, it's cool to have an opinion.
Oh yeah.
But what? You know what's even more cooler?
What's that?
Is when people disagree with your opinion.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and other people's usually stink. Yours don't stink because it's your own asshole. But go ahead.
Yeah. But I I am of the belief that when I speak about a wrestling subject, and I'm passionate about pro wrestling
Mm.
across all genres, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's some I like more than the other. There's some biases that I have that you definitely have. Instead, you're not afraid to be biased about the things
No.
that you like and don't like. But I usually go into things for a reason, right?
Sure.
For example, what
Yes,
is
you
the
should,
big
bro. Yes, you should always have a reason to go into things, huh?
yeah. You don't go into things blindly, and then come out with things that you're not supposed to have after the fact. Okay. Let's just say that. Let's just say that.
Oh gosh.
Okay, but some context, some context. Last week, what did we do? We did a review of AEW Dynamite
Mm-hmm.
250, correct?
Yes, we
And
did.
we talk about MJF versus Will Ospreay. They had
Mm-hmm.
their hour-long match,
Yep.
and our biggest gripe, I mean, for me personally, was like, should they have had that on free television, right? I know this is like the start of the feud. Maybe they should have had a situation where it was a schmoz finish and they can still get their way back to All In, which is they're going to be their rematch,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But they went another way. They had an hour-long match, really properly, like, showcase themselves. And then at the last 2 seconds, MGF got the victory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after the fact, I was minding my own business on a Sunday, and I got a very long message from one of our Patreons and one of our listeners, long time listeners. Hey, she was actually on the show a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
Gaddafi, right? And we all know Gaddafi. He is a fan of AEW, and she spoke about how he got into wrestling again from 2019 when he started watching AEW AEW's
Sure.
beginning, Double or Nothing and all that. Yeah. But he wasn't happy with how we reviewed Dynamite 250 last week. And
Well, first of all, why am I not surprised? I mean, I feel like this is one of those cases where if you are a fan, you're going to be a fan. You are ride or die. And there's nothing wrong with that, Like, kudos to you. What AEW has done is they've managed to convince this group, and it's an ever-shrinking group of people, of wrestling viewers, to think that, yes, their product is the be-all, end-all. This is wrestling, which is great. But don't cry in 4 years' time, 5 years' time when the company has no more business, they're out of business because they have no more television deal, and be like, oh no, why? Oh, people just didn't understand when we were talking about the warning signs years in advance. Let's not forget, right? You talk about 2019, right? 2019 was the start, the genesis of AEW, and for the first, few months, we were all hyped about the product. We came on, we talked positive about it because it was fresh, it was new, but remember, we did say that, okay, the way they wrestle is not going to be conducive for long-term storytelling and long-term longevity of the wrestlers' careers as well. It's a very indie mindset. And look at what has happened.
yeah.
Viewership numbers have dropped. The audience at events, live gates have dropped. These are all things you cannot escape. These are factual things. We can see it from the numbers. And to say that, it's just, you guys are just biased, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. And here's the thing, right? Whenever we have any bias, we will put it out there right off the bat. Say, yo, you know what? I'm not a fan of this flippy shit. Never have been because they're not telling stories. So that's just my opinion. Like I said, my opinion is like I have an asshole and you don't like the way mine smells, right? Sorry, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, what I think let's be fair. Let's. I know you didn't read. Probably you didn't read because it's very long. But let me just give you the cliff notes and let's address each issue one by one. Okay. Let's make it clear. Okay. He said, the constant comparison to older WWE stuff can get tiresome, especially for newer fans who wouldn't know. And blah blah blah. Then he said, if I was looking forward to hearing about MJF Ospreay match, but ended up it becoming a long history lesson about hour-long WWE matches. No mention about MJF Iron Man match or Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, which was the recent 1 hour matches.
You know why? Because those matches were forgettable too. Like, this goes back to the very issue of what is their issue. Do they have an issue? They don't. None of this. I will guarantee, and I hate saying this because you know what a fan I am of MJF and what a fan I'm becoming of Will Ospreay. We've said this before. See, it's selective listening once again, right? It's like, oh, I only want to listen and hear the bad stuff y'all say about my favorite wrestlers, but not the good stuff, right? They are making it work because they are talents in a company that's going to book them into oblivion, if not for what they do, right? So,
correct.
In I hate saying this, but in a few weeks, people will forget that hour-long match already, or slightly almost an hour-long match.
Yeah. And okay, the criticism about us keep comparing things to WWE, right? And my response to that is that yes, we are biased in the sense because WWE is our frame of reference, and I would argue it's a lot of Singapore wrestling fans' frame of reference.
Sure.
That's why we remember Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels all the way until now. Some almost 30 years later, right? When we were comparing or talking about MJF and Will Ospreay and the fact that we didn't like that it went an hour long, it's not because we've seen that they've done it well before. I know Bryan Danielson and MJF had a great, Iron Man match. I know that Kenny Omega had a match as well. Like,
sure.
Yes.
Do you remember why they fought for an hour?
No, it was just a random challenger fighting somebody.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
He was an established champion.
That is the point. There's not anything else to say.
Yeah. But again, if the criticism is the fact that why you keep comparing everything to WWE, my response to that is that that's our frame of reference. And
then compared to what? Compared to Secret Invasion?
No, I would argue that us comparing to WWE helps give more context to wrestling or new wrestling fans who do not know anything about AEW, want to understand, what is AEW all about. Okay, maybe I'll do some comparison. Okay, now you can kind of get some context how it relates to WWE.
Sure.
If AEW could stand on its own and be its own entity and people have no frame of reference of WWE, it's like, AEW is this awesome wrestling product. Then okay, fine. But people know AEW because either, for example, they follow New Japan, they follow Ring of Honor, and then AEW became his thing. But AEW became a big deal because they've always been a challenger brand to WWE. Tony Khan himself said that we are a challenger brand to WWE.
Yep.
So that's why we said that, okay? Let's address another thing that he mentioned. He said that, I pray that AEW gets a TV deal so I don't have to hear you guys talk about popping a rating to get TV deal ad nauseum. Newsflash, everyone does it. Remember Cody being on NXT.
I mean, what is there to address there? Like, yeah, of course, nobody's saying that WWE doesn't do it. Obviously, they do it as well. But the fact is, AEW has consistently done things to pop a rating, and guess what? You know what the crazy thing is? Blood and Guts fell. Their ratings dropped from the previous week, which went up because, and once again, this is another thing we'll talk about in the Blood and Guts review, right? But this is yet another case of, the Elite, they are not draws in the least. MJF, Ospreay, people actually give a shit about those two, right? The numbers bear it out. And they've hit, like, every year by year, they keep dropping. The baseline keeps dropping, right? And they can't cross over the baseline again. So how is this not a concern? Like I said, in 2-3 years' time, when you're lamenting the fact that nobody understood this beleaguered AEW because now they're gone, then we'll see. Then we'll talk.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about us, like criticizing AEW ad nauseum, and I do admit, every week we do talk about AEW. Sometimes we always bring up a lot of negative things about AEW. Do you find it tiresome every time we repeat, or is it tiresome for us to have to repeat it?
Wow. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. It's, once again, selective listening, right? When we talk shit about the WWE, which we do as well, where's the complaint there? We're just calling out what we see or what we feel. What?
Yeah. One thing that Gaddafi didn't say, and I know he have praised us in the past, saying that, we have generally said positive things about AEW's pay-per-views, right? And he did mention it in his long message to us, like, at least you guys say good things about AEW's pay-per-view. But one thing, I actually said something positively last week about AEW, which he didn't mention or didn't bring it up. Remember what I said? I'm enjoying the women's storylines more than the men's storylines in AEW right now, specifically because Britt is back. Britt and Mercedes got some heat. Yeah. And then the fact that Camille now is part of her act, like a Diesel Shawn Michaels vibe, that is interesting to me. Now Tony Storm is back and all crazy and wants to like kill Bill Mariah May. That's interesting to me. So I would say that yes, maybe 70% of us criticize AEW every single week, and it gets boring. I'm sure if you're listening, you hear like, wow, this guy really don't really like AEW. But if you guys do enjoy AEW, I think you all can accept, okay, we criticize it, but you can still enjoy the product, right?
Yeah. I think there needs to be a level of, understanding that, okay, we criticize this product because we enjoy pro wrestling as a whole. We kind of have a good bearing on what works, what doesn't work, and the stats are bearing it out right now, right? And like, okay, for example, the Wyatt Six stuff. Like, I'm still very like apprehensive about how it's gonna work. So it's not all like, oh, you guys are just gonna cite everything with what the WWE does is always gonna be positive. No. So it's just us calling out certain things that we see. The issue here is he just seems to only take issue with the negative things that we talk about. Like we said, selective hearing.
Yeah. But of course, I don't blame him. Like, maybe, okay, if I care about a product, I really care about a product. And if you care about a product, you can kind of like, the flaws I accept, but I'm not really going to talk about it.
Yeah. You know what's the worst thing that could happen, bro?
Yeah.
To show that we truly don't give a shit anymore, we just don't talk about AEW anymore. If we don't, that's when you need to worry. That means the product is so bad we couldn't even give a fuck to go and listen to it or watch it. Sorry, that's when you got to be worried.
When was the last time we talked about Ring of Honor?
Well, exactly. No, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah, but we have been talking about TNA here and there, even though for the longest time we never even acknowledged TNA's existence,
bro. We are about to talk about Ring of Honor in a few moments.
Now we are going to talk about Ring of Honor.
Because, just to put a bow in it, because we've wasted too much time on something that is a nothing, right? At the end of the day, people will like what they like, they will not like what they don't like, and nothing in the world is going to change. So we appreciate your comments, but at the same time, it's not going to change what we do. So it is what it is.
Yeah. But again, if you're not happy with what we say, please feel free to tell us, because we do hear it. And if you want to have a passionate debate about it, I'm more than happy to do so. But you know what's the best comment that I've seen just now from our conversation?
What's that?
So who said Mr. Young becoming Dr. Doom?
You know what? As a fan of Robert Downey Jr., I appreciate that comparison. Thank you very much. I love it. So, okay.
And on top of that, he said, I'm always here to listen to Mr. Young talk shit about Young Bucks at AEW. That's my favorite part every week, bro.
Well, we're going to review Blood and Guts, so just hang in there. We'll get there. But just as a pivot, all right, I'm glad you brought up RDJ returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the villain, Dr. Doom. What are your thoughts on this, bro? I know you're a big fan of comic book movies as well. I know there's, once again, the controversy, right? People on one side are saying, hey, lazy booking lah. They are desperate to get back their... Iron Man, their linchpin, their most recognizable name. So they brought him back as a villain this time. Or do you go on the other side, you're excited because RDJ is back? Or are you like me? I'm sort of like cautiously optimistic about it because I know RDJ is a fantastic actor. And now they're doing this whole multiverse saga. So if you think about, look at Iron Man or Tony Stark's character arc, right? This is just like wrestling. Look at his entire character arc. There were so many points. He could have just made one decision different and become a villain.
Yeah,
which is
that's true.
The whole idea of a what-if scenario, right?
Yeah, I agree. And to me, the biggest takeaway from the whole weekend, right, is that you got to pull some context from Deadpool and Wolverine. I know you've watched it.
Of course.
I've watched it. And the biggest takeaway is Marvel literally telling RDJ, till you're 90. But is this an AEW move, bro? That's my question to you. Is this an AEW move that Marvel is pulling because, they need to get the fans back on their side?
I think it's a little bit of both. Let's be honest. I'm a huge Marvel mark myself, but I do understand. If, let's say, the multiversal saga has been doing very well, Kang didn't have an issue, I'm sure they're still going to go with Kang, right? But they probably sat in a meeting room going, okay, Ant-Man Quantumania was a flop, the Marvels were a flop, we need the big names. We need the best person to bring back? I mean, it's RDJ lah. Who else, right? So, I think that RDJ will do an amazing job as Victor Von Doom this time around. But it does have a tinge of, we need the guy.
Yeah. I would say, it's not as if Marvel or, MCU has not done it before. We've seen literally Cable and Thanos being played by Josh Brolin, right? And I would even argue that maybe in Deadpool and Wolverine, maybe they test water a bit because they literally brought back Chris Evans.
Don't spoiler! Oh my God!
Oh, hey, come on, bro. I'm assuming everyone here that's listening right now live have watched Deadpool. Please tell me you guys have watched it.
No. Just in case.
If not, I'll be like,
Well, that's why you didn't say anything. Nobody heard you say nothing.
yeah. Then I said, brought back. Yeah. Sorry, your Spotify a bit wrong. Something rosa. You just fast forward a bit. Okay.
Fias says, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, but the point I was trying to make is like, maybe that was a test water to say like, hey, maybe recasting certain or like repurposing certain actors in different roles could be something that they want to do because people love the actors themselves, right?
This is the phase that they can do it in. They couldn't do it in the previous phase because there was no multiverse to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Then it would have been jarring. Now it's like every universe, every version can come up. So it's like now it's the only time to do it. Honestly. And what I think is going to happen is after this multiversal saga phase is over, they move on. No more multiverse bullshit. Move on to the mutants phase. So now then only after that, then we have the whole X-Men. They restart everything there.
Yeah, I agree. But I would say RDJ is being back helps like inject a shot of excitement and hype to you know whatever they're doing with Marvel in the next phases. But poor Kang, bro. Poor Jonathan Majors.
Kang. Okay, so the issue with Kang is twofold. First, you have his domestic abuse allegation. I can't remember if he was charged or anything like that, but it's Disney. They can't have that stink on him. I mean, I've seen people argue, RDJ convicted felon last time, but RDJ is a reform. He's paid his due, as it were, right?
Yep.
So,
he has gone to jail for whatever he's brought issues in the past.
Yes. So Jonathan Majors is not at that point yet. He literally just got convicted, and plus the whole Kang multiversal storyline was failing. It was like Quantumania was a bomb, absolute bomb. So I think they looked at those two things and go, I think it's time to just drop this whole Kang character.
Yeah. And I've never thought of Kang as like this big universal world-ending big bad, right? Was he? Or was he?
He was an Avengers character because he's a time traveler. So he literally go back in time and F things up, you know?
Yeah. Actually, my favorite portrayal of Kang was actually Loki season 2.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed him being Victor Timely and doing all those different things.
I think there's a reason why Marvel/Disney hired Jonathan Majors. He's a fantastic actor. It's just the other stuff, his personal life, we don't know what's going on lah. So, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the case. But, interesting pivot, sometimes things don't work out, but then, great things happen. If that went well, we wouldn't have RDJ back. And I think a lot of people are just fantasizing that one scene when Doctor Doom finally faces against
Avengers. Yeah. No, just imagine the emotions when his mask comes off and then Peter Parker, Spider-Man's like, Tony? And then they lose the battle because they can't bear to fight this hero of theirs, this mentor. Can you imagine? Like, I'm getting goosebumps actually thinking about that scene already, you know? So there are a lot of things that could go right with this.
Yeah. He's got to be like a variant, right? For some reason, or like a Tony Stark variant into a Doctor Doom. Has it happened before?
I'm thinking, well, okay, there's the infamous Iron Man run, but that's something very different. That's when Victor Von Doom actually decided he was going to take over the Iron Man mantle when Iron Man was like in a coma, or Tony Stark was in a coma. So he was a more like edgy Iron Man. So there was a time, but somehow I feel like, okay, this is my guess, because multiversal variants are like a what-if scenario, right? What if Tony Stark was born in a war-torn Latveria instead of into a privileged life? You know what I mean? Because Tony Stark in the current MCU, he was born into a family of industrialists. So he was already rich to begin with. That's why his genius was compounded by his wealth, right?
Yes.
But what if he was born in a war-torn country like Latveria, the fictional country of Latveria where Victor Von Doom was born, and he was still the genius that he is, but he didn't have the resources. So he had to fight and scrap for everything. So when he finally makes it big, he becomes this dictator instead of more like, relaxed fella in Tony Stark. So I think it could be very interesting. Okay, I think it would fail if they made RDJ...
No reference.
No. They would fail if RDJ portrayed Victor Von Doom as the same Tony Stark, like very flippant, very make jokes here, make jokes there.
Yeah, no, it has to be different.
Yeah, if he is like serious, like has scar, you can tell he has scars and trauma, and he plays it off like that, I think that will work.
We need RDJ from Oppenheimer. That's what we need. Like,
Okay,
we
I
need...
have not watched Oppenheimer, but I will take your word for it.
Bro, you gotta watch Oppenheimer, bro. Yeah, you gotta watch it. Purely for RDJ's acting, bro. Because he played a very aged character. They make him look like he losing hair or that kind of shit, right? And he was a bit depraved and a bit like manipulative and like he was evil.
Bro,
he was evil.
That's Victor Von Doom.
Exactly. So I like your theory of what if this was really Tony Stark, but Tony Stark grew up in Latveria and then he took up the name of Von Doom. And the only thing that he has to remind us of Tony Stark is his face, but he's a completely different person. I think I love that thought.
Yes. Yeah. And I really honestly hope that's the way they go with it. I do not want a Victor Von Doom that makes jokes. I think that would fall flat on his face.
For sure. And it's perfect for him at his age right now because I think he's almost 60. He's getting up there in age. So
when he revealed the mask, I was like, hey, he looked a bit older.
yeah. But I like it. I like the fact that he needs to be this wizened guy to be this world conquering villain. So it works well.
Bro, let's take it back to wrestling. We sidetracked. Yes. This is Kick to the Multiverse. I love it. But this is like for us wrestling fans, and we posted the meme on our social media pages. It's like when your favorite wrestler comes back with a new gimmick. So that's exactly what has happened here.
Yeah, I love it. But at the end of the day, we as wrestling fans, we appreciate when people make a gimmick change. Especially if it's a better gimmick change or a different character. It's like Cactus Jack, bro.
Yeah, exactly,
Jack,
right?
This is like a Cactus Jack being fully situation and we are all here for it. Let's go, man.
Okay, I tell you what, all that stuff has made me very hungry. So first things first, let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Lemaq. Oh, just looking at that makes me hungry. If you love your Malay cuisine, Indonesian cuisine, you got to check out Lemaq.
Yeah, for sure. And especially if you're working in the central area or you are, going over to Bugis or Arab Street at night because they are not just a lunchtime, stall. They open all the way until 10 p.m. late in the day. So please, guys, do check out Lemaq. Do show us your support for them by following their socials. And hey, go check out their jengkong, bro. Their jengkong is like my personal favorite. You love desserts. Ooh, like gula melaka goodness. It's all there. So please check out Lemaq for your podcast boys.
On their social media pages for Instagram, it's lemaq.lemaq, lemaq.lemaq. Drop them a follow. Let them know that Kick to the Gut sent you, okay? And check out all their content. Check out all their specials and offers, stuff like that. My gosh, I'm burping up a storm today. What's going on?
Bro, it's a sign, bro. It's a sign. It's a perfect sign for you to check out. Bro, we will ensure one of these days, let's do like a short video, a short clip of us visiting Lemaq or interviewing one of our local wrestlers in Lemaq.
Let's do an episode from
Lemaq, yeah.
One of the shops, yeah.
Okay, we'll make it happen on one of the episodes, probably previewing one of the local shows that's coming up this month. Got this whole slew of wrestling shows. If you're a Singapore wrestling fan or you are a wrestling fan that wants to get to know Singapore wrestling, man, there's so many shows coming up. So, guys, get some Lemaq and go watch a wrestling show, bro.
Talking about Singapore wrestling, hey, SPW, our other sponsor right here on the podcast, got to give a big shout out to them. And of course, their upcoming event, we will get some of the wrestlers on the podcast to chat about it very soon. But August 16th, SPW, Hardcore Island 2, Fine City. I love it. We are a fine city, aren't we?
We are a fine city and a lot of fines are going out there, bro. So,
Ayyo. Okay, so I've seen some of the... Okay, this is very interesting to me because if you remember the preview from Clash at the Club, Blade a bit got in my face. This degenerate, tried to insult the lady that was next to me. So I had to give him one tight slap, as the auntie said. I give you one tight slap. So I did the auntie thing, But that aside, I'm very interested in this match because referee Ryan is going to be in this match.
Damn, let's go. He's not refereeing, He's in the match.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan versus Blade. Loser gets caned, bro.
I love it. One thing I'm very interested to see is if you're gonna go there, do you have a chance to not just slap this fella, bro? Can you whack this fella with a cane as well or not?
Okay. Nobody has asked me about anything, but I wouldn't mind. But then again, what if Blade wins? All jokes aside, referee Ryan, we love him, but Blade is the wrestler here. Ryan is the ref. I know he's been training a little bit, but nothing beats in-ring competition. So is Ryan in over his head here? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, David Arquette was a former WCW champion. I'm not saying it's impossible.
What the?
Hey, where is this footage of you slapping him? Why it still hasn't appeared or surfaced online, bro?
Nobody was filming that moment. I'm so sad.
Everyone drunk lah that time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the matches as well. Iman is going to go up against CK Vin. This is going to be very exciting.
I love it. And the thing is, like, both of them are youngsters. Both of them have, very promising careers in the wrestling business.
Yep.
But I am curious to see Iman because Iman, he's kind of growing on me from the times I've seen him.
Yeah.
So yeah, CK Vin is more established. We all know what he's all about. He's literally called us freaking B1 and B2.
Bert and
Ernie. Yes, Bert and Ernie. So definitely a rooting by Iman by default lah, for sure.
Sure. The main event is going to be a big one too. We got the Midnight Bastards and the Statement, or the State of Bastards, SOB, versus Aiden Rex, Dr. Gore, and The Butcher Man. This is going to tear the house down.
Yeah, I love it. And the best part is it's gonna be all hands on deck, no holds barred. So we're gonna see lots of action, lots of violence, and will SOB carry on their momentum as this brand new faction that's taking over SPW?
I swear, if I don't see a durian being used as a weapon, I'll be very upset. All right, let's move.
Yes, it is.
Let's move on. Let's talk about what we need to talk about, and I suppose we're gonna jump right into the blood and the guts of it, aren't we?
Oh, of course. Generally, it was actually a very eventful week for AEW, right?
Yeah.
Not only did they have blood and guts, I forgot, every time they have blood and guts on Rampage, they will have Royal Rampage, right?
Right. And it's another one of those things, I only knew it because I was watching Dynamite and I saw, like, very briefly the, like, trailer to that. So yeah, well, this goes to their inability to promote anything properly. But before we talk about this, do you know what else also aired this past weekend?
Was it a Ring of Honor show?
No.
Oh, okay.
Bro. And once again, this is a clear example of they just don't give a F. They're just doing it because it's part of their contract.
Oh.
Battle of the Belts happened,
yes,
bro.
Battle of the Belts happened. Okay, that was also the point I wanted to make. They actually had a very eventful week because they had not only Dynamite, they had Rampage, they had Collision, they had Battle of the Belts, and somewhere in between they had a Ring of Honor show as well.
Yep.
Pay-per-view.
And the crazy thing is, like, why is none of this being talked about other than the big cage match? You know? Yeah. Once again, they're doing things for the sake of doing things without promoting it. There was a whole moment where Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs won the what was it? The
six-man trios championship.
Trios championship. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And that was a big moment. When I saw it on social media, I was happy for it.
Yeah.
I just wish I knew about it. Like, Von Erichs and Dustin. That could have been the biggest deal ever if you're a long-time old-school fan, right?
Yeah. But they seem to just do things for the sake of doing things with no promotion. Okay, let's talk about Dynamite itself before we get to the blood and guts match.
Yeah. You watched it, right? You watched a bit of it.
I did because morbid curiosity. I felt like I had to because of the podcast. We were going to talk about it. And, just to see if... I feel like every time I give them a chance to bring me back, it's not like I don't give them a chance, but every time I give them a chance, they just remind me why I stopped caring about AEW in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes when you hit a point where you just watch it just for the vibes and just to entertain yourself.
No, I'm not being entertained, especially with Chris Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki. Like, at this point, it's just so, like, they literally spent the whole match chopping each other. That was the whole story of the match. I chop you, you chop me, you chop me, I chop you. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. My takeaway from anything else without Bloods and Guts, right? Like MJF's opening segment, that was something that I was interested in. Him winning the 1 hour match last week. It's now the champion. He has changed the title belt, Mr. Young.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me of that because I'm looking at the match card. I forgot about the promo. I will agree with you. I enjoyed it because you had a really good heel MJF leaning into the whole political debate right now, right? So that was the whole idea. Like he's trying to be the Trump of pro wrestling. I feel that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He has actually, hang on. Before we do that, I want to go even further back because we forgot to mention. Did you see the skit? And I'm going to call it a skit because it felt like an SNL skit. Before to start the show, it's Alex Marvez at the AEW Wrestlers Hotel in the parking. Did you see that shit? That amateur hour bullshit. I'm sorry, but Alex Marvez is the worst backstage guy. Like Byron Sexton is leagues ahead of him somehow. And
He got plumb from my head lah. He got
oh,
plumb
he did?
from my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he basically was in the car park, like, hoping to get a word with somebody. Like, what the And then, he sees Will Ospreay, and then Will Ospreay is like, Will Ospreay was great in this. Because Will Ospreay is a talent, right? And then they find out that don't know whose car. Oh, Will Ospreay's car tire kena slash.
I saw this segment. Yes, I remember it now.
Right, and then they said, "Do you have a car, bruv?" It's like, yeah, you can take my car. And then they go into Alex Marvez's car, and then Will Ospreay speeds off, right? And then Alex Marvez does the fakest. I'm like, oh my god! I was like, what is this? Wow. To call Alex Marvez Jonathan Coachman would be an insult to Jonathan Coachman.
Come on.
He is literally the worst actor, the worst backstage announcer. Like, this is some high school theater bullshit. No, I take that back. This is an insult to high school theater. This was like elementary school theater.
The whole opening segment wasn't needed, to be honest. They could have just started with MJF starting the show. Because there wasn't a payoff of the car being, punctured. There wasn't a payoff. It was just him coming late to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Which would have worked fine if he would just got on the mic and said, I knew you were the one who, like, if he just addresses it, like, you slash my tire or something like that. Yeah, they didn't need to play out that whole skit. It's shit like that makes this whole production look cheap. And that's what they do not need.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to talk about the positive stuff, which is MJF's promo.
Okay, fine.
Let's talk about that. And some people were saying that he's kind of like JBL, the way he draws a bit of this political thing. And I think politics is very interesting because in wrestling, that can actually make you a heel or babyface depending on which state you're in, which country you're in.
Well, and it's very relevant now because that's what the world is talking about. And obviously, changing the international title to the America title is going to make him the biggest heel in London, right?
London. Yeah,
that's the whole point.
Correct. So there's a lot of plus points about this whole storyline because not only it adds a wrinkle of MJF versus Will Ospreay, all that dynamic that they have and all those issues that they have. Now there's even a bit of a political undertone.
Yes.
Which is perfect for him as a heel, especially if MJF beats Will Ospreay in the middle of the ring in Wembley and holds up the American title. Ooh.
Do you think that's gonna happen? Or I think the mark in Tony's. I was gonna say Tony Stark. Tony Khan. Too many Tonys. The mark in Tony Khan is not going to allow that to happen. I think Will Ospreay is going to have his day, his moment at All In. And, sure, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. But if Will Ospreay wins back this title, should he revert it back to the International Championship?
Yes. What is crazy is that the international title or American title is now the bigger deal.
Because the stars are bigger, in my opinion.
Yeah, the stars are more relevant, more interesting in terms of their storyline.
I don't mind it though because I kind of like MJF having this a bit of like a side mission and trying to like elevate other title belts beyond the World Championship. So that's okay in my eyes. But again, this American Championship, I couldn't tell the difference between the International Championship and the Continental Championship. So. Yeah, I don't know if they can do it, but can you like get rid of like at least 3 belts? Just 3 belts. I'll be happy. Or separate the belts.
So here's the thing, right? And here's the thing. For better or for worse, what their philosophy is, all the belts are the same level. That is their philosophy. I don't know if you noticed this, right? There is no the world title is the main belt. Like, when you think of Intercontinental title, you think of B title, right? It's never bigger than the WWE world title. Oh my God, I'm using a WWE reference. Oh no, God forbid. But you know what I mean? But that sort of structure, to me, makes sense. Then you can delineate who is where and where each person stands. The problem with AEW is they try to be this like, oh, we are better than that. Every title is equal in prestige, which means no title is prestigious.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mortal Kombat, right? And my favorite part about Mortal Kombat is like you're fighting all the different opponents up the tower.
Yeah, yeah.
Then finally you hit the final boss,
Shao
right?
Kahn or whoever, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I like that. And you know what? Sometimes when you have a very good wrestler becoming a TNT champion, like for example Christian Cage,
Yep.
then it elevates the TNT championship. Like, okay, now it makes sense to main event because like the story is so hot.
Yep.
But I like that by default, like, okay, the starting championship, maybe you should go for the Continental Championship first. Then you make your way up. You know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
It just adds more focus and tightness to following the stories.
Yep. It's like Gunther dropping the IC title because now he's moving up. It makes it easy at the end of the day, right? You have to appeal to a simpler mind. I'm not saying it's simpler mind, but you know, it's like there are tiers. Everything got tiers. You know, when you go BJJ, for example, let's use a reference that's not WWE. You got what? You got blue belt, brown belt, black belt, purple, all the different belts. You have to climb up, right? And people understand that. That's why martial arts have these ranking systems. Not everybody is a black belt, huh? You know?
Yeah. But don't talk about rankings with AEW lah, because it doesn't make sense in AEW.
That one another bag of rats. Okay, Chris Jericho, Suzuki, whatever.
Yeah, let's just move on. Yeah.
Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida. So Shida dyed her hair. So that that was my takeaway from this.
That's a new thing. Britt Baker looks great.
Yes,
she looks damn hot. Like, kudos to her, whatever she did. I don't know what abs workout she did. Can she share with all of us, please? She looks great. I like that she's a baby face now, but baby face with age. But then, bro, like after the match, you got Mercedes Moné coming out wearing her cowboy outfit. I do not know which state they were in. Why was she wearing a cowboy hat? But then the one thing that I loved about this segment, because personally I'm a huge fan of her, because I watched NWA. Remember back in the day, I said I like NWA Power a lot.
Yeah.
It's because of this girl, Camille.
Yep.
Yeah, man, Camille. Camille was so badass in NWA that she was the security guard for Nick Aldis when he was the NWA champion. Do you know that?
Oh, is it? No, I did not know. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so she was actually the manager for Nick Aldis. So when Nick Aldis was going out, like being his like NWA Ric Flair impersonation, she had Camille at the background doing this, like being all China.
Nice.
So she's badass. She was well presented in NWA. Will she be presented well in AEW? We shall see. But pairing her up with Mercedes Moné is a great thing. It's a great move.
No, it is. And it's good to see that Mercedes and they've all sort of they've all settled and accepted that she's gonna be the heel here and not the returning conquering babyface, right? The next match you got Pac and Boulder. I have no idea who Boulder is. I skipped this match. Like,
was it Bad Country? I think Bad Country.
Who cares? I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I do not know enough as well.
The Glamour Mariah May beat some girl who nobody knows, but the whole idea was to have Toni Storm, show up, do the whole firing up. That was great. That was fine.
Yeah, I have comparisons of her current character to like a Quentin Tarantino character. And I didn't know whether the commentator said it as well. She's giving me Kill Bill, I Want Revenge vibes. So,
yeah.
I like that. As a movie guy, I've always liked Toni Storm's character development. But now there's really some stakes, man. She's gonna go to Wembley and just murder Mariah May.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the blood and guts match. To be honest, it was just every other AEW garbage match ever. It was just, it was just spot after spot after spot. And if you like that kind of stuff, you're gonna enjoy that kind of stuff. Did anything stand up? Because I honestly, it just felt like a bunch of shit happening. And then the finish was, before we get to the finish, anything jump out to you?
Yeah, let's talk about it. And I addressed it when I was replying to Gaddafi. I actually, while I haven't been enjoying the Acclaim for a very long time. They have been stale. I gotta admit, Anthony Bowens to me showed out in this match. Like I really, he really caught my attention. I was like, wow, he got a lot of babyface fire. Yeah. And you know what? I find him more compelling as this, like, this babyface that's just this underdog guy and that's trying to prove himself in this match more than Max Caster. Like, Max Caster kind of like went back down in my eyes. Yeah. Remember Money in the Bank when we had like Carmelo Hayes and Andrade just going crazy during the Money in the Bank match?
Bro. You cannot compare to WWE, bro. That's
Oh,
wrong,
cannot. Okay.
bro.
Oh yeah, cannot. Even if it's a positive comparison, also cannot.
Yeah, cannot.
Okay, fine. I just stick to Anthony. So
Co- co- compared to
Anthony.
sports, bro. Compared to
Okay.
football, bro.
Okay. Anthony Bowens, I think is giving me Yamin Lamau vibes from Euro 2024, bro. Like he's the guy that nobody knows, nobody expected. Suddenly he became like a world beater at 17. There are great gems in AEW that to me needs to be highlighted more. Like for example, the guns. The guns are so good, right? We all acknowledge it. But Anthony Bowens also was to me a show stealer in this match, my opinion.
I think we've always known that the Acclaim, both of them, this combination, they have what it takes from their, remember their initial rise and then subsequent disappearance from, everything. Explain to me why Hangman Page came out late. Was that the whole he just wanted to ambush Swerve? He wanted to wait till Swerve came out so he could ambush him from behind? Just because he hates Swerve?
Yeah, that seems to be the story. The story seems to be like when Hangman agreed to join this match, it's not really to rejoin the Elite. It's just an opportunity for him to get revenge on Hangman. And that's why it played into the story of when Hangman was coming out, he attacked him and handcuffed him to the point that he didn't even want to enter the match. He just wanted to beat up Hangman.
And then they should never be allowed to talk on the mic. The Jacksons, I don't know which one, they're like, you better get in here or you're fired. Like, hey, I'm sorry lah. But they really are amateurs in terms of doing, they are indie wrestlers. There's no, you feel nothing. They feel like cosplay actors. They are pretending to be wrestlers. Nothing about them is convincing.
I've never seen an emotional Young Bucks moment before. Even like when, like very emotional, what do you call it?
Jeff?
No, I'm just trying to think of a very emotional Elite moment. Okay, maybe for example, the first time Hangman won the world title from Kenny Omega. Remember?
Yeah.
There was this one scene where it's Young Bucks looking at Hangman, even though they have had their fallout, and like they kind of acknowledge it, like, okay, go for it, go finish off Kenny Omega, win the world title. Okay, that was the only time I felt okay, there's some subtle storytelling there. But even then, it's like I can count on one hand,
Exactly.
Yeah, they are not. They can't make it if they go to WWE lah. I mean.
Wow, that's terrible. You shouldn't be comparing. So there's one story there which. So what is Hangman now a heel, but he's not. He's a heel, but he doesn't want to work with the Elite. He was forced. So I don't understand this storytelling here. So is he a heel or a face? Or
he's a heel who's a renegade who doesn't like other heels, I guess.
That is the worst booking ever, by the way. So he's a heel that is opposing the heel faction, so that kind of makes him face. But he's not a face because he's a heel.
But you can be a heel that doesn't get along or hates other heels as well, right?
Sure, that's fine. But to me, in terms of his booking, makes me not give a crap about him. It's either you side with the heel team or you don't side with the heel team. It's very simple. It's very simple emotions, right? He brings nothing to the table now, this Hangman Page.
Yeah, and like the EVP's threatening to fine him, if not he get fired and all that kind of shit. Like, I guess it is what it is. But
why muddy this, bloodbath with bad acting is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked to death about Okada and how he's not him anymore. So let's not go there.
I like Mark Briscoe in this match as well.
Dude, I think we've all agreed that Mark Briscoe is an incredible talent that should be pushed, because he's different, right? He athletically can do it. He talks different. He looks different. He got bogey. He got no teeth, right? So he immediately stands out and like this wild man, right? And you need people like that in
wrestling.
Yeah, you do, right?
Yeah, wrestling can be everyone pretty and handsome, and not everyone can look like Randy Orton, John Cena.
Yeah.
You need one ugly ass motherfucker to just like variety sake, right?
Right. He is what John Moxley wishes he could be.
Yeah,
I feel.
Damn, that's a great analogy. Like,
yeah,
to me, like I can imagine Mark Briscoe as this crazy wild guy who's unpredictable and can do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Because he can sell it in his promos as well. His promos are amazing. I mean, I've seen the Briscoe promos. They're great.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get to the end of the match where Darby Allin has crucified Jack Perry, like, handcuffed him to the cage, and he's gonna set him on fire. Okay? And after bad act, this just horrible community theater. So they threaten arson again, right? And they give up because the Jacksons love their Jack Perry and didn't want him to be set on fire. That's how they ended this whole thing.
Yeah. And okay, the only thing that I thought was a good takeaway is that at least this Blood and Guts led to something, which is the WLN challenging, getting the title shot, right, for the TNT Championship.
Sure.
At least it helped create build for All In. So to me, like previous, Blood and Guts, right, literally it's just they fight for the sake of fighting.
Yeah.
And was it last year's one where the Blood and remember there was this one rivalry, was it between the
Inner
BCC
Circle
and the Inner Circle? I can't remember, but it's like they started off already, their first ever match is Blood and Guts. Then it just got progressively like
all the different matches. It was definitely Inner Circle. Chris Jericho was definitely involved in this debacle. Yes. No. Okay, so there's a TNT title match stipulation, right? Fine, we have one resolution. What was Swerve Strickland's point in being in this match, other than being attacked by Hangman?
I wonder, because there wasn't any Bryan Danielson involvement. There was nothing to showcase or build up his match. But I think here's my theory. They actually use this Blood and Guts to kind of re-establish him as a dominant champion. Because if you followed the match flow, right, at no point was he like an idiot in the match. Like, he was dominant. He was he felt like the badass as a champion trying to save his team.
But it didn't feel like the story was centered around him. You know what I mean? The story was centered around that finish, which was awful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is Jack Perry, TNT. Like, I see what you're saying, but also at the same time, like, you know what they always say? You only remember the finish, right? You only remember the high point. And the high point didn't involve your world champion, right?
Yeah.
So, macam like he was an afterthought in this whole shebang.
Swerve, on hindsight, shouldn't have been in the match. I think.
Agree.
I feel like someone else should have been the one leading the charge against the Elite. And Swerve can be a separate storyline.
Yep.
My problem is there isn't any big figurehead that feels like a big deal enough to fight the Elite, right? Who could feasibly fight the Elite when they've taken out like Tony Khan, they've taken out Kenny Omega. Maybe Kenny Omega would have been the right guy, but he's out of action now.
Yeah, his health is more important. But, they took out Tony Khan, but he's still backstage. So apparently a pile driver, anybody can take. It's fine.
That one hasn't been resolved, let's be honest. It hasn't been resolved.
It's just, okay. Anyway, that was Blood and Guts. After Blood and Guts, would I watch AEW again? No. And like I alluded to earlier, apparently the ratings for Blood and Guts actually dropped.
What's the ratings this week? Last week?
7-8 something? Or 7-6 something? I forget.
Okay, because the previous week was 7-8 something.
Yeah. So it dropped slightly. It didn't drop a lot, but it didn't go up.
Okay, but they are not in the 600 range, which was terrible the last couple of weeks.
I should hope not, right? So there you go. That's Blood and Guts. Like I said, to me, MGF, Bruv, those are the guys to watch in AEW right now, and the women as well. But other than that, the rest of it, I hate that they are making it the main focus when they are not the main focus. They are not the draws.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna power through the cliff notes of the other shows for AEW. Like for me, Royal Rampage. Like, I like the concept. World War III reminds me of Royal Rumble, and the winner of the match was Darby Allin. There was a callback to his spot with Brody King from 2 years ago, and Darby Allin won. I like that. I like the fact that Darby Allin, not only now he has a TNT Championship match against Jungle Boy at All In. Now he also have a world title opportunity at Grand Slam for Royal Rampage. So okay,
well, we know that's not going to happen. He's not going to win. So it's just going to be a match.
Yeah, but I think now that they're lacking stars, they need to lean on their stars that have actually resonated well with their audience. So WLM being back to relevance is okay.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing. So, okay, that's AEW. Let's now jump to what's happening this upcoming Sunday morning, which I'm going to do a watch along on my Twitch, by the way. Somebody please confirm, is it 8 a.m. start? I believe it's an 8 a.m. start time for us. But talking about SummerSlam.
Nice. Not an 8 a.m. pre-show. Later you wake up, it's 3 hours.
No. I think the pre-show is at 6 a.m. or something like that. But
All right. Yeah.
somebody in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, because now they got daylight savings time and everything, so the timing is a bit off, 1 hour, you know?
Okay.
Summer,
I
ma,
mean,
the summer thing.
man, I sorry, I do not know anything about Greenwich Meridian and geography. Don't. Please, I have no idea. Okay, but
Yeah.
SummerSlam, the bill has been great. Let's be
Yes.
honest.
We were a little bit hesitant, remember, about the Damian Priest Gunther build, but
Yeah.
would you say that they've ramped things up considerably in the last couple of weeks with their just beating the piss out of each other?
They've turned it around.
Mm.
I think Gunther finally being inserted and having a live confrontation with him kind of set the tone, because previously it wasn't alluded to yet.
Yeah.
It was just all backstage promos and stuff.
Correct.
But then that first interaction they had, like okay. And one thing we forget, both of them are big size fellas, They really look like world heavyweight contenders. So
this will be a meat slapping match. Okay, what is very interesting is, I guess because this is one of the big four, right? SummerSlam, right? 7 matches, 6 of them are all championship matches. So a lot of gold is on the line here, guys.
yes, I agree. And not only that, we have so much storyline threads running through, not just like beyond the world championship, like even though it's about the world title, but there's the threat of Judgment Day. There's Gunther trying to establish himself. Like there's more. There's so many layers to the title match.
So let's start with that. Damian Priest versus Gunther. So, okay, you talk about the Judgment Day stuff. Will Finn turn? Is this Finn's turn to time to turn on Damian Priest, oust him, and then have Gunther take the World Heavyweight Championship? So that's one train of thought, right? Or will Damian Priest prove himself, and the whole Finn turn is a bit of a red herring? They're just inserting that just to make us tingle a little bit, get our spider senses tingle. Fake us out.
Yeah. I know you didn't watch Raw, but there was a very, very telling segment on Raw, because one of the matches on Raw was Finn Balor versus Gunther.
Okay.
So there was this one segment backstage where Damian Priest and Rhea went up to Finn and say, hey, we want to be there. We want to back you up. If you need us, we'll be there for you. And then Finn took it the wrong way. Finn was saying like, wait, you don't think I can beat Gunther by myself?
Right.
So there's this teasing or this tension where, like, Finn's trying to prove to himself, like, I'm still good enough, like, on my own, I can be the guy. So that could also play into, like, potentially him turning over or ousting, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
Well, I think we all know that in the future, right, down the line, it will be a brand new Judgment Day, because we know that Rhea Ripley has so much babyface heat, as well as they're trying to build Damian Priest there as well. Those two are destined to be ousted from the Judgment Day, right? And it's just a matter of when. Will they pull the trigger at SummerSlam, or are they just trying to swerve us a little bit? Delay. We think it's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen, right? And Damian Priest retains by beating Gunther. I know a lot of us want Gunther to just take the title already. Do you think it's time to take the title away from Damian Priest? Okay, Div Royalty, we know your answer. You cannot weigh in on this.
Bias. No. I like, actually, right, the thought of Damian Priest surviving with the title here in SummerSlam. You know why?
Why?
Because the rematch will be at Bash at Berlin. And that's where Gunther should win the title, bro.
Oh, you are right. Okay.
There you go.
How would they spin a rematch though? What, like have a number 1 contenders match on Raw leading up to it or something?
No, I feel like Gunther being Gunther, there might be a schmoz finish, or like maybe Judgment Day. Okay, for example, right? Okay, if we're gonna play the whole Damian Priest is being a babyface right now.
Yeah.
Judgment Day come out at the match. Somehow, for some reason, they inadvertently interfere, or somehow Damian Priest wins, but it's a tainted win, right?
Oh.
And then being the honorable guy that Damian Priest says, like, you know what? I still feel that I can beat you the right way. And then maybe Gunther after SummerSlam can come out on Raw and say, hey, that was still cheating. You are not an honorable man. You still use your goonies to defeat me.
Yep.
Fight me one-on-one. Fight me at my home country. Oof,
I like it. And that's where Judgment Day cost Damian Priest.
Yeah. Because they are pissed off that Damian say, hey, we just trying to help you and then you tell us to fuck off. Okay lah, this coming match, we're going to fuck you up instead.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I like it. Okay, there you go. Triple H, book it. Foreign has said so.
Let's do it, Mr. H.
Okay, so that's
wait. Div Royalty said something interesting though. Man, I'd rather Damian lose the title to Gunther.
To Finn.
To Finn somehow instead of Gunther. Oh.
No lah, I think Gunther's time is coming. He needs a run with the title. I think we've all seen the picture, the writing on the wall. It's just a matter of when.
I can do Finn versus Damien without the title. They can be his own blood feud, you know?
Yeah, exactly right. And you have the perfect opportunity because Finn would cost Damien Priest and therefore they have a reason to feud now, right?
Especially if Finn is the new Judgment Day leader and reshapes Judgment Day in his image, right?
It would have to be, right? It would be Finn, Dominic, Carlito, JD, and Liv Morgan, most likely.
Yeah, that would be very interesting because I don't know, Finn has always been charismatic if he's in the right spot.
Yes. Correct. And he needs to be a leader. He needs to be the guy doing... Do you remember NXT Finn where he's doing the gun pointing, showing off his abs and shit?
Yeah. Doing the Pele kick.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be that guy again.
Yeah, let's go. I'm liking a Finn rerun. More abs.
Let's talk about Bayley versus Nia Jax. Okay, so now they've tried to, inject a bit. I still think Bayley is stale. Whatever it is about Bayley, she was always best as either a conniving heel or a eager babyface. She's neither. She's the
in between right now.
In between, yeah. She's like the veteran, deserving champ now, which is a bit boring, I have to say.
Kofi Kingston vibes.
Kofi Kingston vibes. But now we have Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, who very interestingly has the Money in the Bank, but they're friends. So we've seen the build-up sort of like, will she cash in? Will she not? She doesn't want to cash in because she doesn't piss off Nia Jax, right? So, question is here, does Bayley survive Nia Jax? And if she does Tiffany Stratton cash in?
Okay, the thing is, I don't know whether my dear friend Joe Corner Pro is around. Maybe he's not around because I know he is a historic hater of Nia Jax, right?
Yes.
But I'm going to say something that pisses him off. I love you, bro. But man, I want to see Nia Jax as the champion right now.
Oh, okay. Why? Explain.
No, I feel since her return, she has been on this upward trajectory. And I watched her match with Rhea Ripley at Elimination Chamber live in person in Perth. And the reason why that main event was because Rhea Ripley was in her hometown. But I felt like Nia Jax kept up her end of the bargain. She's like the modern day Yokozuna, you know what I mean? Like Yokozuna in the sense that last time it was a botch queen.
Yeah.
But now she has improved in the ring. It's undeniable. And now she becomes even more menacing.
I think what it is, okay, honestly, I truly believe the difference here is, yes, she's improved a little bit for sure, but the booking is different. The booking is better now with Nia Jax.
She's produced better. I think maybe that's the right word.
Yes. She's produced better. They don't just hand her the mic and she talks rubbish,
Yeah, I think Triple H sees her value. Like, you need a big size, like awesome Kong character.
Like an Omos, like a Braun Strowman.
Yeah. And it's different from all the other ladies, right? So
because she's not like most girls.
Hey, I like her new song,
No, and it has
not like most girls.
Got elements of I'm not like most girls, but I still prefer the old theme. That one, the music is in my head already. The non-Death Rebel.
Okay, but here's the question mark, right? In this scenario, Tiffany Stratton, right? Tiffany Stratton has the Money in the Bank. She's, like you said, so-called allies with Nia Jax, but she's also a heel.
Yes. But is she? But the crowd wants her to be a face. The crowd is cheering her.
I know. So, wouldn't the best way to turn her babyface is when Nia Jax wins the title, it lasts 5 minutes, and then Tiffany Stratton cashes in?
Or
that'd be crazy, bro. Yeah.
What if Bayley somehow ekes out a victory, survives, but she's battered, she's bruised, and then Tiffany cashes in. But Nia Jax is like, and squashes Tiffany. And now, but you waste the cash in, which is a huge waste lah. But
she doesn't have to officially cash it in. She's just running in and then suddenly Nia Jax like close slicer or something.
Yeah, it's like, no, not on my watch. Something like that. That could turn her. Yeah. I don't know. But you know where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah. But is it too early though to pull a trigger on Tiffany, in my opinion?
Maybe. I feel like this Nia and Tiffany relationship needs to grow before one turns on the other.
Yeah,
right?
It needs to blossom a bit more. I agree.
Okay. So Nia Jax for the win here, and Nia Jax for the win with Tiffany like, hey, I'm like, she could cash in on Nia Jax at any time.
Yeah, I like that. I guess both of us are on consensus that Bailey doesn't factor into this at all.
I know,
Yeah,
what's the poor Baileys, yeah.
yeah, I like Bailey, but I get it. Like Bailey has gotten her so-called acknowledgement
Yeah.
championship. Yeah, so I
At
think yeah,
WrestleMania, so yeah, it's time for her to put it on somebody else. Who knows?
maybe,
Maybe
maybe.
maybe they literally book it like she wins and nothing happens.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bailey, do you know Damage Control just returned on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, is
And
it?
and they put them opposite the new female Shield, the freaking Sonya Deville, all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I do not know whether that means did they just turn Damage Control back babyface? I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
It
And
doesn't. Yeah,
yeah, and they wouldn't rejoin with Bailey because there's bad blood there. It would literally make no sense.
yeah. But basically, that happened on Raw.
Okay.
They're having that six
I
women feud.
I just hope it's not a thing of, oh, okay, we need to put over the new group, so y'all just come back and lose.
Ooh, that could be
Which,
too. That could be as well.
unfortunately, I think is the case.
Uh,
Let's
okay.
talk about Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, they already had this match, now they're running it back. Is Sami's time up? Is this the moment we crown Braun Breaker?
I don't mind it. I
Yeah.
don't mind it
Yeah.
because it's SummerSlam is a big deal.
Yeah.
They are trying to treat Braun Breaker like a big deal. Doesn't it make sense for him to get a statement victory on a big pay-per-view?
No, I agree with you. And the thing is, wait, they've only had the one match before, right?
Yeah.
So they could have a third match somewhere down the line. It could be the rubber match. Technically, Braun should win here then, shouldn't he? And then they can have a rubber match.
Yeah, I like that. And the cool thing about the whole, title scene for the Intercontinental title, it's not just the two of them. We've had Dragunov being involved in and around the championship. We have people like Bronson Reed, Sheamus, all kind of like hanging around there.
Bronson who?
Bronson Reed.
He's still there.
Hey, you don't know? He was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle
Whatever.
winner.
Like, poor guy
Yeah.
can't get booked in a proper thing. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is like there's so many stories to tell beyond just Breaker and Zayn. So I think I don't mind. Okay, you know why I don't mind Zayn dropping the title? Because last week they've already hinted in Jey Uso and Sami Zayn becoming a tag team or like becoming an allies again.
Yeah, coming back together. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what's on the horizon, right? Or what we want or wish to have on the horizon, right?
Bloodline Civil War 2.
Yeah, so you gotta free up Sami Zayn, bro. So Sami Zayn can go on and do some Uzi things. So
yeah.
that's my
Devrati,
thoughts.
yes. I went to the door to let the dog in. She was scratching at the door. So
Oh dear God.
doggo. Chelsea is here. Y'all want to say hello to Chelsea? Chelsea, come.
Hey, say hi.
Come.
Lie. Chelsea is damn cute.
Mwah.
Hello,
Say hello,
Chelsea.
everybody.
Hello, live stream on the chat.
Yeah, man.
The funny thing about Chelsea, because I've been to your house a lot of times, right? Chelsea, when she sees a stranger, she just barks. But then once you go down on her level and like just let her touch you, then she's like the most docile doggo ever.
She's all bark. She just needs you to acknowledge her. Acknowledge Chelsea. Then she'll quiet.
I see. And we acknowledge you, Chelsea. Chelsea, are you team WWE or team AEW? That's my question, Chelsea.
What do you think, bro? What do you think?
Bug for WWE. Go. Just keep quiet. No, don't disturb.
Okay.
Don't go.
There you go. Okay. Come.
Yeah. Seems like the rest of the listeners also agree Braun for the win.
Yes, I think so too. Not that we dislike what Sami Zayn is doing right now, but yeah, this is the second time around. If they had Sami Zayn go over again, that really puts a stop to Braun's momentum. Yeah. And I don't think they want to do that, right?
Yeah, and I like that they're not giving Braun like a winning streak or making him be unbeatable, because having him lose helps him like feel more human and like you want to see him win down the road.
And I think Braun working with Sami is good for Braun. Sami being the veteran, I don't know if we think about it in that way, in those terms, but like the guy can sell his ass off. He can tell a story. And I think Braun will learn a lot from working with Sami Zayn. And that's why I think that, down the line, like I said, the third match, the rubber match will happen.
Yeah. And bro, Braun as the champion fighting the likes of like, I don't know,
Bronson Reed, Sheamus. Yeah. Sheamus has this whole thing with
Pete
Dunne. So he's somehow in the mix there as well.
Yeah. There's gonna be a bunch of great shit happening But yeah, I think Braun as the centerpiece, as the IC champion going into Netflix.
Yes. Oh, with Ilya there somehow in the mix as well. I think it's a good little like intercontinental bracket lah, if you will.
Yeah. All former NXT champions.
Well, they all have to, graduate from tier to tier after all, right? Not all belts are made the same, as we allude to something we talked about earlier.
Yes.
That's what we call a callback. Okay, let's talk about Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the US Championship. Yeah!
Woo!
Is it time for Mr. Knight to finally get his flowers?
Very interestingly, the SummerSlam itself is going to be held in Logan Paul's hometown, right?
Yes.
Cleveland, right? And they just announced on Raw that the host for SummerSlam is also another fellow Cleveland native.
Correct.
The Miz.
Yep.
So I just feel all of this is foreshadowing from WWE to stack the odds against LA Knight. But if eventually LA Knight will still come out on top, getting his first championship.
We talked about sort of giving these deserving guys their moment at a big event, at a SummerSlam. And I think it's LA Knight's time. To your point as well, I agree. Logan Paul has done great things with the US title, don't get me wrong, but he's still quote unquote a part-timer. He's the best of both worlds. Like, he's a part-timer that can go and he's out there at events, at boxing events with his belt. He's bringing publicity to the WWE.
Yeah,
but he's also a legit performer as well.
Yeah. And I feel like he has served his purpose as a champ.
Yeah.
I think he's done all he can. And right now, LA Knight, I think he needs this statement victory. He really needs, because he hasn't been highlighted as well as he was in 2023.
I wouldn't say he needs. I think it's deserve. The key word here is you know what I mean? Because I feel like even if he doesn't win the US title, he'll still be an upper mid-carder no matter what, just on pure charisma alone.
Yeah, but giving him this rocket ship or giving him this acknowledgement, I think it will elevate him. Because, I know the world title is a little bit crowded right now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be there, but he needs to have his own niche. We need to have that segment where it's LA Knight time and everyone's going crazy for him. So
Yeah, so
sure.
there he goes. Like, he will be the quote-unquote second-tier champion, the US champion. So I think we're both in agreement, right? Chat, let us know. Logan Paul, LA Knight, I think, like a lot of you alluded to, Logan Paul has served his purpose. Time for him to elevate LA Knight, which sounds crazy, but yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. And then he can disappear for a while before he comes back during the Royal Rumble as a surprise entry. Like, that makes sense, right? He can just F off a bit.
Agreed. I do not know about this div. She's saying that Prime has been getting consistently sued, so
is it?
probably time for Logan Paul to step back. I'm not sure about those stories.
See, that's the problem when you have a figurehead that's so controversial. Like, from what I've read, like, a lot of these lawsuits are nonsense lawsuits. Some might be legit, but it's always going to happen like that. So, okay, let's move on to Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Arguably the more exciting one because there's Dominic in the middle. Okay, I am still a bit upset that they haven't made this a ladder match. Is this they haven't, right? They haven't said anything about ladder, right?
No, I'm sorry, bro. No custody of Dominic match. It's just gonna be a straight up match. Yeah.
How about during the match, ref bump, and then somebody pull out a ladder? Just for the moment where Dom is shaking. Like, he's, do you remember when little Dom was shaking the ladder? Like, we need to have that moment for the sake of us, like, Easter egg hunters, like, nerdy, like,
Marvel guys, Marvel geeks. We need this continuity.
Mr. Levesque, sir, please, I beg you, give us this moment of Dom shaking the ladder.
Okay, we gotta talk about that amazing segment, in my opinion, from last week where I've always thought Liv Morgan was pretty, bland. But I was never like, damn, she's hot. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, okay, she's cute, she's pretty. But then, bro, last week with that Daisy Duke shots, that turn, tough lah, bro. Tough.
You mean the Alexa Bliss special?
I know why you call it the Alexa Bliss special.
Do you? Okay. Just to take you back, and I say it with much respect. To get a shape like that, you gotta be working out at the gym a lot, right?
Sure.
So I respect that. Respectfully, we were in the front row when WWE were in town, and I'm a huge fan of Alexa Bliss for a long time already. And there was a tag match, right? It was Alexa Bliss and I can't remember who versus I can't remember who else because I forgot not focusing on that. But literally, where Alexa Bliss was standing the whole time because it was a tag match was on the apron right in front of us.
Oh yeah, yes, I remember this.
And you know Alexa Bliss, her shorts are a little bit higher, so like so there's y'all know what under boob is? This one is underbutt.
Underbutt.
Bro, that is a t-shirt. Underbutt. I'm here for the underbutt.
Oh dear God, yeah. Okay, you know I'm a huge fan of Alexa Bliss. I love her work.
Respectfully.
Respectfully love her booty as well. But yes, Liv Morgan brought it back, bro. Brought it back for those.
That's why I say Liv Morgan pulled out the Alexa Bliss special.
I like it, okay. Okay. The women in the chat, Dave, please give me your perspective because I want to know how you guys feel about it, right? You know, when we are young and dumb guys, when we were watching Attitude Era, we're like, yes, lots of girls, lots of the titties, blah blah blah, sexuality, blah blah blah, right? Sex was part of the recipe, right, for watching wrestling. But now I feel like they've not done this in a long time. They've never used a women's sexuality as a part of a storyline. But now that they're bringing it back in a more cerebral way. Do you get what I mean?
Yes,
like
it's
not
the
whole point of
It's not gratuitous to a point of like, okay, when they had a live sex show, remember Edge and Lita? That is like throwing it right in your face. Nah, we present sex. You know? Now it's like just subtle, like, oh, the dress is a little bit lower cut. Oh, the shorts a little bit higher up. Just enough, but not gratuitous.
Yeah, and also like, I'm a beautiful woman. You know, I'm sexy.
You are a beautiful woman.
Thank you, brother. I know I've always been one on the law, bro.
Stand in front of a mirror and tell yourself that, my friend.
I am beautiful, no matter what you say.
I say, words can't bring me down. Christina Aguilera, beautiful.
Truly a millennial. Okay. No, what I'm saying is like, I love that now WWE doesn't treat us like dumb people. Like if a girl is hot and she knows it, she uses it to her advantage to gain revenge. That's like a great storyline. Yeah. Right?
No, it's a very real thing. It's crazy. Yeah. Like you have to be nuts to think that this doesn't happen in real life. It does.
Yeah. I mean,
look at Instagram.
Thirst trapping, right? You've been around beautiful women, and I'm pretty sure I've been around beautiful. I think so. Of course I am. Yes. The point is, they use this to their advantage at all times. How do they all get all this free stuff? You know what I mean?
The point, just coming back to this whole Liv thing is, apparently you thought that Liv looked amazing with the Alexa Bliss special. I'll agree with that. Mami has looked amazing since her return. She's always looked amazing. What am I saying?
Yeah.
But the presentation of this back and forth now, right? Dom being in the middle, Dom finally turning on Liv. But did he really turn on Liv? Is he secretly working with Liv and he's going to screw over Rhea at SummerSlam? That's the big question.
And that's the reason why you're buying a ticket or subscribing to WWE Network to watch this match. No, because you want to see what happens.
It's kind of crazy, but I am, from a storyline perspective, more invested in that match than Cody versus Solo. Like, it's not. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe not. Okay, I went too far. Sorry, I went too far. I apologize. Damien versus Gunther. This one more involvement than Damien Gunther.
Would you easily say this is the most anticipated women's match in at least a good 5 years, maybe probably since the Becky's rise to fame or something?
Yes, and it's all, I would say this is 90% storytelling. Nobody gives a shit about their wrestling, to be honest. This is telenovela stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not there to watch Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan put on a 5-star match. Like I just want to see Rhea destroy Liv or Liv survive Rhea, right?
No, and I want to see Dom shaking the ladder.
Let Dom shake.
Let Dom shake. Let Dom shake. That should be the hashtag.
No. I want to see Liv Morgan survive with the world title thanks to Dom. And Dom, in front of Rhea, kiss Liv Morgan below the ring. Come on.
That is, I think that's what we're all expecting, right? And it's one of those, yes, we are calling it. It's so obvious, but it needs to happen because this is the payoff that we've all been waiting for. Oh, Dom goes full heel and his heat. You think he has huge heat now. His boos are going to be like, he's never going to be able to talk anymore. And that's great. That's freaking great. And who's going to come to Rhea Ripley's rescue?
Yeet! Yeet, yeah, my guy
Mommy's
Jay.
single now. Yeet.
So Jay doesn't have a match or any appearances planned for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Could this be where he comes in?
Yeah, maybe Rhea is left in the ring after she loses, and then Liv and Dom do the dirty on the stage, right? And then Rhea's like, what? And then Jay,
it's just me.
consoles her. Oos. Okay, no, he doesn't need to come out, lah. Okay, here's the thing, right? I don't think Rhea should be crying in the middle of the ring. That's not her character. She should be angry.
She should go crazy, yes.
Yeah, she should be pissed off. And then maybe they have a backstage segment with Rhea and Jay. Nothing in, like, let's not take away from the main story here.
So full on Phoenix lah, basically. Full on Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
go crazy.
There you
Destroy the world. Yeah, very interestingly, right, bro? Like, yeah, Jay is not on the card. There are certain matches that you thought would have been on the card that is not on the card. I'll let you know in a bit about from what happened on Raw.
Actually, okay, somebody brought up a very good point, right? Like, Damien and Rhea actually look like a cool-ass, badass couple. If you put them together.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the route they should go, lah. No.
It's giving me Captain America and Black Widow vibes, though.
Yeah, like they're best friends. They're cool as bros or besties, but not dating, right? Yeah.
They're hot together, yeah. But we both know they're attractive, but like they're attractive people who just vibe with each other as friends.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all their actual partners in real life going, They're acting. They're just acting.
I saw the meme. Damn funny. Like both Dom's wife and Buddy Murphy holding hands, punching the air right now.
Okay, so I think we're all in agreement here, right? Liv should retain because of Dom's shenanigans. Hopefully, shaking a ladder.
Yeah, the leg hurt around the world and the kiss hurt around the world coming up soon.
Yes, let's go. Let's freaking go. Okay. Now the question is, even though CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre has the most heat, I don't think it should be the main event, right?
Nah, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Do you think it should be somewhere in the middle then?
Yeah, I would say it should be in the third last match card. That's what they always say. Right. The semi main event. That's what I always say.
So you got Damien and Gunther to kick off the show lah, basically.
Well, I honestly, I don't mind even if Liv and Rhea starts off the show. That's that show hot, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. Huh? Wow, shit. There are actually quite a few bangers here.
Bro, all the matches have heat. Oh, and that's...
Not to draw a comparison, but this is the big... This is we are just literally talking about some place that has no heat for their matches for the sake of matches versus matches with heat, with story, with build that you are invested in.
And you got so much stories that some are being left out. So okay, the point I'll make the point very quickly. So Wyatt Six, Chad Gable, and Creed brothers, right? If you watch a bit of Raw, they have finally unmasked the remaining three people, right? Yeah. Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, who looks completely like Rob Zombie, by the way.
Okay.
You go check it out. But they just announced after Raw that their 6-man tag, which I assume was going to be on either the pre-show of SummerSlam or in SummerSlam itself. No, they're going to have that match next year on Raw.
Okay, you know what? I think that's a good thing. I think that you do not want to hotshot the Wyatt Six. You just let them be this supernatural element that's in a corner of the WWE universe. Have it built first. Because, to your point, the build only just started. And now if you look at PLEs, it seems like, okay, PLEs is the place we settle mid to like boiling level feuds.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, you don't throw a match out there for the sake of throwing a match out there because it looks cool on paper, because they are not fantasy booking, they are booking television shows.
Yes. And I don't mind because you clear the air, right? And then you can get Wyatt Six to main event Raw, and then Raw becomes highly anticipated.
Yes,
so
exactly. So it works on so many levels. This is what happens when you have a well-oiled machine that are there to make money instead of booking for the sake of fantasy. All right, that's the... But we're not making comparisons. Yeah. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins as the guest referee.
There's nothing left to be said. They've already done 8 months of build. They have literally out-hated each other. I think their hatred for each other has lasted longer than Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Yeah. Bro, did you see Drew McIntyre trolling with the picture with Jungle Boy? Okay, so see, this is the difference, right? Like... the other side straight up put the backstage video on their primetime television, and it backfired, right? Whereas Drew literally takes a photo with the guy. If you know, you know. If you don't know, people think that's just a fan because he's just a small little Gina looking mofo, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to this game, you know?
Yeah, and the best part is, I think he had to take it out a few minutes later, so it only lasted for a few minutes.
But nothing disappears on the internet.
But the damage was already done, right? Everyone knows, and even if it was a WWE decision or like, oh, we don't want to highlight AEW, but doesn't matter. The people who got it, and they love it.
Yeah, and the people don't get it will just think nothing of it. And how much you want to bet? They probably planned it. I wouldn't put it past them and say, okay, you post it, delete it in 1 minute. Because they know, they're not stupid. They know the internet will latch onto it.
Yeah, and it was in San Diego Comic Con. We are aware that WWE was having a panel there. We are aware AEW was having a panel there.
Yep.
They literally could have just texted each other or DM each other, hey bro, you want to go outside, take a photo, and then like put this is real, Primary River, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would even think that CM Punk is actually okay with this.
Oh yeah. Dude, CM Punk is not stupid. As long as it makes him money, gets him buzz, he'll be cool with it.
Didn't he say that? And he literally repeated it on Raw during his segment.
Yeah.
He literally said that the best thing that could have happened to Drew McIntyre is that you injured me. You're now in my orbit. You're relevant because of me. And now the worst thing is I'm gonna be the one that's beating your ass up. But he cares about the story. I think he will make money if anyone who is willing to, make money with him.
I'm pretty sure if certain people were willing to play ball, they could have had that match at All In. CM Punk and FTR versus the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
It's the biggest deal ever, bro.
Yeah, it's just that some people just are not there to make money. They're there to play with their friends. Okay, let's talk about this damn match. I don't even know.
Yeah, one more line about CM Punk because I think I just got reminded of one quote that he said in one of his press conference, right? He said, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money.
Yep.
But then there was a part 2 to it. He said,
Yep.
But most of the times, the people I make money with become my friends.
Yes. Yeah, no, but that's the way of the world, is it not?
Yeah, of course. If you make so much shit together, so much history together, how can you not be bonded over that?
Exactly, right? You're literally working towards a common goal, and that's making money and not letting your petty differences, get in the way. Edge did it with Matt Hardy, or you want to call it the other way around. They made money. It wasn't astronomical money, but it was still like, there was real life heat and they made money. Rock Austin, I'm sure they were very competitive against each other, but they recognized that, okay, this is the guy that's going to take me to the next level. Let's both make money together. They're bonded. They're friends. Triple H with whoever you want to.
Triple H and The Rock.
And The Rock, yeah. So there you go. That being said, okay, I look at this match, I legitimately don't know who's gonna win. I literally have no idea, and that's great. Obviously we want CM Punk to win, but then Drew McIntyre is a powerhouse. He's a big guy, right? And then you have Seth as the ref. Is Seth gonna screw CM Punk? Are they gonna do a triple threat down the line?
Honestly, I do not know who will win, and I like it. Because both have justification to win.
Yep.
Both have justification to fuck up Seth Rollins as well.
Yeah, and Seth could just literally screw up the match and make it a schmoz by not counting both.
Yeah, it can be The Rock and Bulldog. Remember when The Rock was the referee?
The ref. 1, 2, it doesn't matter what The Rock. No, yeah, it could be I am calling a huge three-way schmoz, and I'm fine with it.
I would love if it just devolved into a triple threat.
yeah, triple threat, no ref, everybody fight everybody. It's just this is gonna be a storytelling match. This is not going. We're not going in to see freaking 5-star Dave Meltzer, a classic here. No. This is a straight up, like, they're going to get in each other's faces, tempers are going to flare, and Seth is going to screw one, screw two, screw both, for sure.
I feel like regardless of what happens, there's going to be a rematch.
Yes.
There's going to be bad blood down the line.
Yes.
Bro.
Like we talked about, right? CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a cage. If there were ever a reason to do Hell in a Cell or a dog collar match or one of those brutal matches, this would be it.
Bro, Hell in a Cell, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
I don't
That
know if
will
CM
sell the pay-per-view by itself, bro.
Yeah, no, true, 100%. But I don't know if CM Punk can go in a Hell in a Cell. Those are quite brutal. Unless you do a
He's-
triple threat Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only question marks on CM Punk right now is his physical abilities, lah.
Yeah, which is, to me, like, I'm worried about that. That's why the way they've built this feud is brilliant. You are literally, like, cutting away all his quote-unquote cons, right? Like, physically, he can't go quite as well as Drew and Seth anymore. That's why
Agreed.
I'm thinking a triple threat Hell in a Cell or a triple threat First Blood, whatever it is, works because Drew and Seth can carry the load. CM Punk is there for the moments.
Yeah, agreed. Fierce Grinder just said, Seth look like Willy Wonka.
Like, he's always looked a bit like, that's his whole gimmick, right? He dresses in... he came out in a referee's outfit with the half white, half black glasses as well. I saw the clips on Instagram.
Yeah, bro, I wish he should have worn, remember when HBK was the special guest ref? And then he wore these tiny whiteies, like, fucking tights.
Yeah.
Booty shorts, they call it.
Booty shorts, yeah.
That would be hilarious, yeah.
So, like, just to put a bow on it, I'm super hyped for this match, and it's one of those matches I have zero idea what's going to happen, and that's a great thing. Let them tell this story.
I'm super hyped for SummerSlam. We haven't even talked about the main event yet.
The main event! All right, here we go. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, undisputed WWE Championship. They built this up where the Bloodline have completely destroyed all of Cody's friends. So Cody has no backup. Again, they are making him the underdog even though he's the champion, right? So that's where they're going with this. Randy Orton is died, KO died,
Yeah, all gone. No friends, or so it seems.
Yes. So the question is, and I know a lot of people are like, bring back Roman Reigns. I don't think it's time. I think you need to wait. You need to wait for Royal Rumble. You need to wait for Netflix to make that return so much bigger. I, in a way, I'm like, should it be the return of Paul Heyman and Paul Heyman brings back one of his friends? And let's not forget, remember after Cody and Brock had their feud, they shook hands at the end of it?
I've heard this theory. I was watching Jim Cornette as well.
See, the man knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
Do you remember what they shook hands? They had mutual respect. So you can build on that by having Brock Lesnar be the equalizer.
Brock Lesnar. So your theory is that Paul Heyman comes back, brings back Brock Lesnar, and then they become this two-man power trip that fights against the Bloodline.
You don't. Okay, so I don't necessarily think you need Brock to come back as a full-timer. I think maybe he comes back as a one-off. As in, he comes back just to neutralize Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu, just to stop them. Because if anybody can stand up to Jacob Fatu, I think it has to be a monster like Brock, right?
Yeah.
And imagine the moment where you have Jacob and Brock staring at each other in the ring.
Yeah. My only argument to this, while it's great, I don't want to see it now.
Okay.
Because it's too early for Jacob Fatu's momentum to get squashed by a Brock Lesnar. Unless Jacob Fatu beats Brock Lesnar, then we say it.
That's why I feel like they should have a moment, but they should not lay hands. As in, he managed to hold them off, but not to a point where he beats up Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean?
Okay. I like that. So basically, it's like he beats up Tonga Loa because no one cares about him. Tonga.
The pirate, Tonga pirate, you mean?
But then he comes face to face with Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu like looks at him, but then slowly brings out Solo Sikoa.
Yeah. They don't lay hands or they don't make each other or either one look bad. But this distraction is enough to help Cody even the odds. You don't want to help Cody win. You want to help Cody even the odds so that, because Cody is supposed to be the baby face, right? You can't have Brock help him win. No, he can only even the odds for this to be an equal thing so that Cody and Solo equal.
But if that's the case, you're saying Cody should still retain against Solo, right?
You don't think that Solo's gonna win the Undisputed Championship, do you? Bro, is that where you're going? Because I'm like, what, bro? Are you... Okay,
hear me
tell
out.
me. Explain your copium right now.
Okay. Say right now Roman is not part of it. But I would argue that Roman should. Because I think if you really want to pull off Civil War or Bloodline Civil War in Survivor Series, now is the best time to start the build. That's just my personal opinion, right? Sure. But if you do not want Roman Reigns to appear, even then I still think Roman Reigns should appear. But if you don't want Roman Reigns to appear, what is the biggest, most horrific, unexpected thing that could happen that will make people say, holy shit, they did what?
Solo winning the title.
Solo winning the title, establishing himself as legitimately the tribal chief with the championship.
Wow. Okay, chat, I need y'all to weigh in. Do you think Solo as the undisputed champion works now here? It's to me, it's too much of a stretch.
He's not believable enough yet, right?
Yes, I agree.
But by the very same respect, I feel he's one of those guys that need the championship to establish him.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be like, okay, Cody, to your point, right? Cody doesn't need to have like a long reign like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like it could be one of those shorter title reigns. Maybe the title can bounce.
Yes, I agree, because we've just came off a 4-year title reign. And how do you make that 4-year title reign special? By not immediately having another long title reign.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, that's what the World Heavyweight Championship is for. What? That one can bounce.
Yeah, I get you. But I think there's more story to be tell if Cody suffers defeat, because he's a Rhodes, right? Rhodes are forever underdog nearly guys. Avengers, Infinity War. He needs that moment,
The comeback. Div Royalty says, no, then I'll be like, I cry so much for what at WrestleMania?
I feel you. No, what I'm saying is, if there's no Roman Reigns, okay, even then I would argue if that happens, but then Roman Reigns comes back, that will actually overshadow Solo winning.
Yeah, it can be both. Yeah.
But if Cody Rhodes were to win and survive the match, why would Roman Reigns appear as well? Because Roman Reigns should only appear in a moment of peril to save someone.
Yeah. Do you think he should save Cody? Okay, how does that make sense for Roman Reigns to save Cody? Because they've had this heated hatred for each other for such a long time.
Because I think the Paul Heyman factor should be the most important thing.
Oh, because
I think
So Roman returns to avenge, to stand up for Paul, not so much to help Cody lah.
Yeah. The Cody thing, maybe in the future it becomes more of like, it's like Jason Statham and The Rock, right? Hobbs and Shaw, like they used to hate each other, but then like because of a common enemy, they get together. But everyone wants to see their team up.
Yep.
So, that's what I'm getting at lah.
Well, if anything, we're talking about it. We're talking about all the different permutations that could happen, and that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. My only hope is in the match itself, Solo really levels up lah. Solo really is a breakout performance for Solo, but I really want that for him, because all the ingredients are in place to bring Solo up to the next level. He just got to deliver. He just got to keep out his end of the bargain.
I mean, we've seen it online, right? It's like Jacob Fatu has more aura than Solo Sikoa. That's literally the narrative right now. So yeah, if anybody can do it, I guess Cody would be the guy to try to level up Solo here. Which is why, once again, I don't think Solo is the right guy to be the champion right now.
Bro, Div Royalty literally... she says Rikishi needs to come back. It's like, boys, what are you doing, bro? Tribal Combat was like 1 year ago lah.
They jumped the shark. They missed it with Rikishi. I don't think at this point Rikishi come out. Okay, the other question is, are there any other Fatus or Tongans?
There are, bro.
There's so many. Isn't there like a Zilla Fatu or something like that?
No, they just signed their 7-foot tall cousin, the Hikuleo from New Japan.
Oh my god! Another Hikuleo fella.
They got a giant, bro. It's not even...
What if Randy and KO come out to help Cody and then Hikuleo come out to neutralize them?
Oh dear God, that just become the WrestleMania XL Part 2.
Wow,
all the hero shimos. No. I think let's keep it tight. Let's keep it focused. 3 scenarios. Either like you said, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman comes to help. Either Solo, wins the title, or Cody Rhodes survives but then gets his ass beaten down, and then the return of Roman Reigns.
Right.
One of those 3.
And the return of Roman Reigns, he comes in the ring, he stares down Solo Sikoa, end.
Helps up.
No fight, just end. How about? It has to be. It's cinema. Man. We are in the cinematic era. So,
bro, him just returning will be the talking point coming out. Some say enough already.
Exactly, and that makes you want to watch the next episode of SmackDown, right? They can't.
Exactly.
He come out and he starts fighting Solo. No. He needs to come out and stare at somebody.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it works in all iterations. But all 3, I'm happy with.
Yeah, Zayden wants to see Randy turn on Cody.
that should happen down the road.
Yeah. I think now is too soon. I think it should be somewhere down the road where they are tagging together or whatever, and then he's like, no, I want your title now. I think that, Cody shouldn't be side questing off of the bloodline yet.
Yeah. I love it. There's so many storylines to tell. Even if Cody does Randy Orton, you can still have the Solo versus Roman bloodline.
Yep.
Down the road, there can be The Rock. I mean, The Rock is still that final boss that's hiding somewhere behind Solo Sikoa. The bloodline, the fact that it's still running strong 4 years in, bro. Respect.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, this is storytelling to another level, and this is what we appreciate about pro wrestling.
Yes. MCU Phase 5.
Okay, that being said, once again, like I mentioned, I will be doing a watch along on my Twitch account. So if you want to come watch SummerSlam together with me on Sunday morning, feel free to hang out as I eat my McDonald's breakfast and try to wake up while SummerSlam goes down. I think it's going to be amazing, so I can't wait for it.
Yeah, definitely. I will try to come and go hang out with you guys. We'll make sure our Discord is always open. Please react on our Discord. Everyone's invited. Please follow the links and descriptions below.
And as always, a shout out to our sponsors who make all this possible. Big shout out to Lemaq. If you haven't already, drop them a follow on their Instagram page. Okay, lemaq.lemaq. If you love your Malay cuisine, your Indonesian cuisine, there's no better place.
Yeah, there's food, there's drinks, there's jongkong, there's desserts, there's fraps. Go there, tag your boys, kick to the gut, let us know that you've been visiting. And I definitely want to visit them because I'm hungry. I'm damn hungry, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. And also to our other sponsors, SPW, I want to see you at their next event, all right? Friday, August the 16th is SPW's Hardcore Island 2, a fine city. We will definitely get some of the SPW guys here on the show to chat before we head into their show.
Yeah, man, it's got a great way to spend your National Day week, the week after, I mean.
Yes.
So it's going to be really, really fun. So tune in, guys, next week because we are going to not only review SummerSlam, we might even have some, a early preview of SPW. And we're going to try to get a few of our SPW wrestlers on the show as well.
Absolutely. But okay, once again, thank you so much for hanging out. As always, we bring up the Discord. It's there for us to chat when we're not doing the podcast. Links are in the description. We have a Patreon as well if you want to take your support of the podcast to the next level. Whatever tier is comfortable for you is comfortable for us. That being said, that's about it. That's all we have to say today, right?
Yeah, we cleared everything just nice. 2 hours, all good. Thanks for supporting us. Keep the likes on, keep the bills on.
And also, I noticed that the foreign hand lotion is back. I haven't seen the foreign hand lotion in a while. It's right there on your shelf. I see it.
Just come back from army lah. The lotion needs to come back. No lah, just kidding. It's my dad's lah, guys. National Skin Center. Can you guys stop it? National Skin Center.
Hashtag. See, that's a shirt right there. Hashtag free the lotion.
Wait,
why are you reading it?
Rapid Itch Relief Moisturizer for dry, itchy, and sensitive skin. Okay. Anyway, you won't be seeing this soon. Next month, it will be a completely different setup. So look forward to that.
Yes, and we'll find out more soon. But as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for In the Building. Take care.